It's about 3 weeks into the AP Bio exam, and most students are about to make a huge mistake. They're going to start studying harder and longer, but not smarter. Scoring well in the AP Bio exam is not about how much biology you know. It's about how many points you can earn in a limited time. I'm Miss Parrott, and in this video, we're going to do a 3-week game plan and countdown to help us know how we can best use these last 3 weeks to help us score the most points on the AP Bio exam. Consider these 3 weeks coming up training time. We are training for fluency. What's fluency? It's being able to perform quickly, accurately, and confidently under time pressure. That's what the AP Bio exam rewards. Knowing biology is not the same as performing. I have seen students who know the exact same biology. Some of them earn a 2 or a 3, and some of them earn a 4 or a 5 because the bio is only part of the exam. Our goal in this video is to learn how we can maximize our points with different strategies, time management skills, accuracy, and don't forget, this is all about training. So we've got 3 weeks left. Let's make a plan. In week 3, this is the time to diagnose your weaknesses. How can you know what your weaknesses are? Well, you need to take as close to a full-length AP Bio exam as possible. There is one embedded in the Blue Book app, and so you could do that one. If you haven't already done a mock exam with your class, do that. If your teacher hasn't already assigned that or isn't going to do that, do that. Then at the end, when you see what you got correct and what you didn't, you want to diagnose. You're not just like, oh, I don't know anything about osmosis. That's not necessarily true. Pay attention to the question. Did you get it incorrect because you aren't familiar with the content? Or was it a skill question? Like it was more about your ability to read the graph or to read the data table. Was it a timing issue? Did you just run out of time and miss the whole last 10 and have to guess? Is it a reading issue? I have a whole series on AP Bio words that matter that you can check out here that can help you understand like what the question is asking. Or was it an issue with task verbs? So when it said predict versus justify, did you know what to give it? This is what we're doing in week 3. Then week 2, we're going to practice like the test. We're going to be doing multiple choice questions, free response questions with a timer. We'll look at time management in a second. And again, if you haven't already done a mock exam, please do. Now, where can I get this practice? I have lots of practice FRQ questions at my TPT store, Know and Grow with Gnomes, especially ones that have to do with all the calculations and the math. But you can also, for free, go to the College Board website, and they have released years and years of free response questions. They come with scoring guides and with exemplars, like this is what a good answer is, and this is what a not great answer is. For multiple choice questions, students have the hardest time finding practice for the multiple choice, and I get it. So again, the College Board website does have some practice on there, but your teacher may have already assigned that. So if you want more practice, one of the easiest ways to find real AP practice is to go to the end of each year's course exam and description. So you can Google AP Bio course exam and description 2024, 2023, 2022. And at the end of that, they have like a mini practice test. It's not full length, but it does give you real questions and the answer so you can check it. And so you can use those and practice with those. Also, I cannot stress enough, since again, this is all about thinking like a scientist. If you are going to spend money on a practice book, get the practice for the ACT science test. Why? Because that whole test is about thinking like a scientist. It's not all biology. Some of it is. But the point is, it's going to have long reading passages. It has tons of graphs and data that you have to analyze. So it's much better at sharpening those think like a scientist skills than like a regular AP Bio review book would be. In the last week before the exam, we want to first take care of yourself. I'll do a whole video on self-care the week before. But take care of yourself, and we want to simulate real, like as close to real scenario as possible, and refine any of our skills. So at this point, like if you've never heard of NADPH, this is not the week to learn it, okay? Here we are taking our skills that are already medium and building them to strong. We're not trying to learn brand new stuff we've never heard of. You want to give yourself longer practice sessions, so maybe fewer but longer, because for some of you, May 4th is not the only AP exam, or this AP Bio isn't the only AP exam you're taking in the next 2 weeks. So you want to think about your time wisely. Speaking of time management, your ability to manage your time is directly correlated to your ability to earn points. So remember, for multiple choice, you got about 1.5 minutes per question, which is not very long. For the free response, you want to allot yourself 20 to 25 minutes for each long FRQ, and then 6 to 10 minutes for each short FRQ. So when you're practicing, keep these numbers in mind. Now, for strategies, I have full videos on these, but just a quick rundown. Remember, for multiple choice strategy, you can follow my 3-pass strategy. So you're actually like looking through the test 3 times. First, again, this is about points. You go in and you answer the questions that you're confident about. It's not about answering them in order and then getting stuck and running out of time and leaving good points on the table. You want to go through and answer, like if you're not real confident about the answer in 30 seconds, flag it for review and move on. And you want to, so that's your first one. So go through and get all your confident points. Second pass is go through and do ones that aren't necessarily hard. They just take a little bit more thinking, like your graph reading or your data analysis, things like that. Do those. Then with the last minutes on your third pass, these are your ones that are the most challenging for you for whatever reason. And you want to narrow it to 2 and then choose which is the best of the 2, which is the most precise and doesn't require any like outside assumptions from you. That's supported by the data in the question. I've got a whole video on how to pick between like the last 2 answers as well. So don't leave anything blank. That's my, it's a huge multiple choice. Answer all questions. Do not let the clock run out without having answered everything, even if it is a guess there at the end. Then for free response strategy, you always want to take time to do 3 to 5 minutes to read every question. Like, okay, maybe not the huge page long thing at the front of questions 1 and 2, but get the kind of gist of what the question is about, and the short ones, and then decide, do you want to start with the short ones, grab those quicker, what I find to be a little bit more, there's less digging involved in these points, and then go back to the long ones? Or do you want to start with the long ones because you're cool with reading, you're not getting freaked out by an unexpected scenario that you will see in question 1. It'll be something you may have never seen before at all. Do not freak out. So you can start with the long, get the most points there, and then move into the short. Your goal here is, on regardless of how you do it, skip the stuff that's going to take a long time for you and return after you've gotten all the easy points, right? That's how you're going to maximize your points. All right, so how do we earn points fast? First, use the task verbs. Now, this is especially on the FRQs. So is it asking you to identify, to predict, to explain, to describe, to justify, to calculate? Tune in to exactly what it's asking for and then give it exactly that. We're not doing what, I don't know, my dad calls the shotgun approach, where you just kind of spray knowledge all over the place and hope that some of it lands. That's not going to earn you points. We want to be concise. That means try to write what you want to say in as few words as possible, but that's still precise and gets the point across. All right, we're not trying to be fancy. We're not trying to show off how, we can use every vocabulary word in the entirety of AP Bio. That does not impact your points at all. You do need to use correct words, but still. I have a sneeze. It's coming. Maybe I'll edit that. Maybe I won't. Let's keep going. Then we want to use our data and our variables that are on the graphs to answer our questions. Use what's given to support, to justify, to explain what's your cause and effect. Use the data and the variables that are provided in the question to help you answer. Remember, clear and correct is more important than complicated, given some long, complicated, drawn-out answer, and precision is more important than long paragraphs. I have a whole video on how to not overwrite, so check that out. It's in the AP Bio Exam Skills series. All right. Now, what about skills? What skills can I practice that are going to help me earn the most points? Graph and data analysis are huge. Again, this is why I encourage you to check out an ACT prep book over an AP Bio prep book, because they are going to give you questions with graph and data analysis. And this is great, again, because there can be a totally unfamiliar scenario, something you've never seen before, but if you can read a graph, you can still answer the question correctly. It's beautiful. Also, high yield skills are experimental design. So knowing how to control variables, knowing how to identify independent and dependent variables, all that kind of stuff is going to help you in both the FRQ and the MCQ. As far as content topics, the ones that are kind of meatier, that show up more, because again, not every content, not every unit is evenly tested across the exam, and the course exam and description tells you that. Focusing on gene expression, so going from DNA to a protein, then from a protein to a phenotype, and then even how phenotypes change over time in a population and evolution. If you can get that whole thread down, great. And then cell communication, right? How cells talk to each other, how things get inhibited or activated. This is very important as well. So take some time to go back and review these units. More than anything, you have to approach this test as if you're thinking like a biologist, thinking like a scientist, not just a textbook, right? That's not what this test is asking you. So here's some simple mistakes to avoid, because these mistakes will cost you points and waste time to get other points. Don't spend too long on one question. If you're not sure about it, move on. There's another question out there waiting to give you points. You can always flag it for review and come back. Also, ignoring the task verbs again, and you realize the questions about evolution, so you just spray out everything you know about evolution. That's not what the question is going to ask. It's going to have specific things it wants you to do, and that's what you need to deliver in as few words as possible. Because writing too much is another time waster, and It actually shows that you don't know what the test is asking. It doesn't make you look smarter. And then cramming. Again, this test is not about memorization, so cramming at the end is not going to help you. You have to practice the skills that are going to be asked of you on the day of the exam, which is answering questions. This fluency mindset, trying to train yourself to be quick, confident, and accurate under time pressure is what's really going to win, get you to the highest points possible for yourself. And it's okay if you're not there yet. We're 3 weeks away. You have time to train. Your job, keep practicing AP style practice. Practice is going to lead you to fluency. Remember, after you practice, don't just check if you get things right or wrong. Diagnose where the gap is and fill the gap. You are in training now. It's not practice, do not awesome, get down on yourself and fall into this spiral of despair. Not an option. We are training to get better. And that's our goal, to get better, a little better, and a little better each time. So the more you practice, the better you'll get. Coming in and approaching this test with strategy is so much more important than going in order. Starting at one and just trying to push through to the end is not effective. You want to go in with a plan, a strategy, and collect those points, because that's what's going to get you from a 2 or a 3 to a 4 or a 5 on the AP Bio exam. If you found this video helpful, please do give it a like. Check out all my other AP Bio exam skills. I go deeper into just about every topic I talked about in this video, in another video. Subscribe to my channel. I'll be giving you videos for as we get even closer to the exam, and then how to deal with the fallout after the exam. That's coming too. Leave a comment, a question, or an emoji down below if you want help or resources to help you prepare. And you can also check out my Teachers Pay Teachers store, Know and Grow with Gnomes, for practice resources as well. Keep knowing, keep growing, keep learning. We'll see you next time.